What an insane week in the loyalty industry in Canada. We have Air Miles transitioning to Blue Rewards, Shell moving to sceneplus, and a hyped up Starbucks Rewards revamped that isn't worth all the hype. All this and more on Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards for January 30th, 2026. If you're looking to make the most of your loyalty programs and credit card rewards, you've come to the right place. This is your weekly dose of loyalty, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada from Canada's original and #1 points and miles resource, Rewards Canada. I'm your host, Patrick, and this week we're going to flip things around and do loyalty rewards first before credit cards because it was such a big week in loyalty rewards. So, of course, the first big news, if you have not seen this yet, is the sunsetting of the Air Miles program. Well, the name and the logo, that is. Air Miles will be transitioning into Blue Rewards. This will be happening this summer of 2026. They're going to change the program name, change the logo, all this. You see it on the screen right now. They're becoming Blue Rewards. So basically what's happening here is just a total evolution of the program. So the program, as we've known it for 34 years, almost 34 years, it launched in 1992, has been called Air Miles, of course, has had that famous plane logo. And in some ways that has kept some people from engaging in the program because they didn't want travel rewards or were looking for other, type of rewards. So this transition is kind of a natural phase in for this program to let Canadians know we're here for everyday value, everyday rewards. And Air Miles has been that for a long time, probably 15 years or so, maybe even longer, where, merchandise rewards have been big, cash rewards, getting $10 off at places like Shell, which won't be happening anymore, but other Air Miles locations and things like that. They have provided everyday value, but a lot of Canadians were not aware of that. I believe Air Miles said 70% of Canadians that they surveyed still thought it was just a travel rewards program. So this is kind of a big revamp and evolution. Of course, Air Miles went through some turbulent times, especially in the 2010s, later 2010s, early 2020s with the bankruptcy, but then Bank of Montreal bought them and has reinvigorated the program. We've talked to Air Miles, we've talked about it a lot in our videos, how they have come, they've been climbing out of that hole that they dug themselves into and become, a viable, really good program again. So with this change, I think they're hoping to put some of the bad stuff behind them, but also let Canadians know that, we're here, we're a program that helps you with your everyday value. And part of that everyday value is like adding a lot of new partners. So even though they're going away from the travel branding, they're bringing in some travel partners like Porter Airlines and Accor Hotels, which is like Fairmont Hotels, Novotel, and some of their other brands. We'll have to wait to see what those partnerships entail. We actually don't know any of the details of what the partnerships will entail. Hopefully with a lot of them, like maybe the travel ones is going to be linked to loyalty, where you can earn in both programs or something like that, or they'll have transfer options between the programs. Just have to wait to see. But then they're adding others like MTY, the restaurant group that has like Mucho Burrito, Thai Express, Jugo Juice, a lot of everyday locations that will be partners. Again, we don't know if it's going to be earn and burn. Hopefully it is burn. Hopefully they'll do the, what we're used to right now, 95 cash miles to $10, that in the new program, they'll do the points to dollars at places like that, because that would be great. That's a good way to help Canadians, because they're really pushing this as a way to help Canadians financially, and that's what this Blue Rewards, that's going to be, I think, the focus of the program. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of these everyday partners become places where you can not only earn the new Blue points or Blue Rewards points, you'll be able to redeem them. And so speaking of miles and points, one of the big questions that came up is what about the value? Because they showed in their, press release and things like that, that 1,500 points will get you $10 off. And the people weren't aware that it said your value remains the same. So basically what's happening here, say you have 95 miles in your Air Miles account right now, which, speaking of Air Miles accounts, those were combined this past week. So there's no more cash miles, no more dream miles. It's all one account. But if you only have 95 miles, when this transition happens to the new program, those will become 1,500 points. So the value stays the same. So how 95 miles equals $10, well, 1,500 points will equal $10. And they're going to multiply whatever miles you are in your account by that multiplier to get you to the equivalent of 1,500 points for 95 or whatever amount of miles you have in your account. So basically that works out to just under 16 points per mile when that conversion happens. The conversion, they're saying, is going to be seamless. So hopefully everything works well and then that transition happens, that they do a lot of testing behind the scenes. I know you say WestJet, when they did their conversion, WestJet Rewards, they shut down for a couple of days so they can have a smooth transition, and that transition happens smoothly. So hopefully we can see the same thing here when Air Miles transitions to Blue Rewards. So yeah, so that is the first big news. Stay tuned right here on Rewards Canada as this progresses, because we will have more details on the partners, the earn rates, the redemption options, you name it. We're working closely with the program to give this information to all our readers, viewers, listeners, so that you guys can stay abreast of this transition from Air Miles to Blue Rewards. Now, what we've also seen with this news this week is that Bank of Montreal has shut down applications for Air Miles credit cards because they're preparing for this revamp as well, and they will be coming out with new Blue Rewards credit cards and debit cards, things like that. If you're an existing credit card holder, an Air Miles credit card holder, you will be transitioned over to these new cards, but they are getting ready. There's a wait list. You can join the wait list for the new Blue Rewards cards. You'll have a chance to win like 1 million points with that from that wait list. And I think by applying and getting the card, then you'll be probably entered to win the million. I didn't check out all the details of the contest, but yeah, so there's going to be a lot of build up for this. I think they're going to have different accelerators. They're promising an accelerator that's never been seen before. I believe that's on the debit cards, so it might be on the credit cards as well. So just a lot to just stay tuned for with this program. One question that has come up frequently on Rewards Canada's various communities or social media is what happens to Bank of Montreal's own BMO Rewards. And BMO Rewards will be remaining as a separate program. So Bank of Montreal technically is running with 2 loyalty programs. They'll have their proprietary BMO Rewards, and then they will have Blue Rewards, because Blue Rewards, even though it's owned by Bank of Montreal, is technically a separate program and a separate company. So they're going to run separately like that. Now, there is some word that there may be some linking between them. That would be cool. That's going to be cool if you're going to be able to move BMO Rewards points to Blue Rewards or vice versa. So there is lots to take in, but you know what? Just stay tuned right here on Rewards Canada. If it seems overwhelming to you, we will do our best to explain everything to you and explain it in a nice, concise way where you can learn the most about the new Blue Rewards program and how to make the most of it. So of course, as I mentioned at the start of the video, Shell is moving to sceneplus. So one of Air Miles' original partners for 34 years, Shell, is leaving the program. They will not be part of Air Miles nor the new Blue Rewards program. sceneplus has taken them. It's going to start up pretty quickly, at least in Alberta, where it launches on March 3rd, and then the rest of Canada, it will be launching on May 26th. So yeah, kind of sad to see Shell leaving the Air Miles program. 34 years, that's a long tenure with that loyalty program. But you know what? These programs are always evolving and always changing. Exciting news though for the sceneplus program, that sceneplus members can now earn their points. sceneplus has grown into such a big coalition program, and they were basically just missing a fuel retailer. Now they have a fuel retailer. So basically sceneplus members, once this launches, like I said, March 3rd in Alberta, May 26th the rest of Canada, will earn 1 sceneplus point per liter of fuel at Shell, and also 1 sceneplus point for every $1 spent on eligible purchases made in the store, like convenience retail, or on car washes. Those are the earn rates for all sceneplus members who, either show, swipe, input their number. You don't have to have like a sceneplus credit card. You can use whatever credit card to pay for those purchases. But if you do have, a Scotia card that has an accelerated earn rate, you're going to earn even more sceneplus points for those. But you can still earn your Amex membership rewards points, your Aeroplan points, you name it, Blue Rewards points. If you're going to have one of the new Blue Rewards cards, you can still do that and double dip across the programs. So if we look at this, the Scene Points earn rate for fuel is better than the current Air Miles earn rates, and you don't have that 10 to 20 liter minimum purchase that we currently see with the Air Miles program. So you can just buy 1 liter and you'll earn 1 point, whereas with Air Miles, if you bought 1 liter, you would earn nothing. So that's a key factor of this. With Air Miles, basically you were earning just over half a cent per liter on non-V-Power fuels. So sceneplus almost doubles that because you're earning 1 cent per liter on those fuels. But V-Power, sceneplus comes in still at 1 cent per liter, whereas Air Miles was 1.05, so slightly higher there. But not a huge difference, but here's the thing, I'll tell you after this, if you link to Shell Go Plus, you're gonna earn more. So for convenience store purchases, sceneplus comes in roughly at half the value of Air Miles because you're earning 1 point per $1 spent. So basically that's a 1 cent return per $1, whereas Air Miles was offering 1 mile for every $5. And with a cash value of 10.5 cents per mile, that worked out to 2.1 cents per $1 spent. But again, again, you had to spend that $5 minimum with Air Miles, otherwise you earn nothing. So now you can go in with sceneplus, you spend $1 or $2 in the convenience store. There's not much you can get for $1, maybe a little bit of candy or something, but you will earn sceneplus points. So basically almost every purchase earns, whereas with Air Miles, you wouldn't do that. So that's kind of the big changes there. So for most people, I think you're gonna get more value out of sceneplus than you had with Air Miles. But again, it will also come down to what bonus offers are, because there's been so many amazing bonus offers for Air Miles with Shell. I'm sure we'll see some of those continue with sceneplus. Really depends on how much money Shell and or sceneplus is putting behind the partnership for those extra offers. So only time will tell to see in the long run which one will be more lucrative, but I am leaning towards sceneplus because you don't have those minimum spend like $5 or the minimum liters like 10 or 20 liters. But like I said, if you link your sceneplus card to Shell Go Plus, you're going to earn more points. So on regular fuels and convenience store purchases, you're going to earn 10% extra points. So basically you're getting 1.1 cents per liter or 1.1 cents per dollar spent in the store. And if you buy V-Powered Nitro Plus gasoline, they double that. So you're actually earning 2 sceneplus points per dollar. So, that's basically, everybody should be doing that. As soon as this launches, is linking their sceneplus to Shell Go Plus, because you're going to automatically earn more points. And then the next thing coming up with the Shell sceneplus partnership, and this is also with Scotia and Tangerine, because this is more with Scotia and Tangerine, are savings at the pump. So as we all know, the BMO Air Miles credit card discount at Shell ended at the end of December last year. That will be coming back in the sceneplus. There's going to be savings at the pump when you use a Scotiabank credit card or a Tangerine credit card. We don't know what the savings are just yet, but they will be there. So obviously it'll be some sort of cents off per liter, probably very similar to what Shell offered with BMO, or what you can get like with Petro and RBC right now, or the various different programs out there, Journey, CIBC, you name it. There's all these partnerships going on, and we'll see the same thing with Scotiabank and Tangerine credit cards. Now, when it comes to redeeming points, you'll be able to redeem sceneplus points at Shell, just kind of like you do right now with Air Miles Cash Miles. It's going to be similar, where you get $10, but in this case, you're going to redeem 1,000 sceneplus points to get $10 off at the pump or at the till at Shell. So 2,000 points will get you $20, 3,000 will get you $30, so on and so forth. This is the exact same redemption rate across the board for all sceneplus partners. Home hardware is this amount, the grocery stores, Sobeys, Safeway, IGA, travel, you name it. The majority of sceneplus partner redemptions are 1,000 points to $10, or the equivalent, 500 points to $5, I think, for some of the Cineplex stuff. So it's the same value, and that's the beauty of the sceneplus program, is you don't have to worry if you're losing value redeeming for something at this place versus redeeming for travel or at a different place. So if you redeem at Shell for $10, you would get the same $10 off at Home Hardware. So you really don't have to worry about it, and that's the beauty of the sceneplus program, is that value kind of stays the same across the board. And as I mentioned before, like, you can use a Scotiabank sceneplus credit card to earn even more on your purchases in terms of sceneplus. Now, of course, you'll earn points or miles from any credit card that has rewards on these purchases, and you want to use ones with gas or fuel accelerators. Personally, I use things like the Cobalt Card with 2 times points. But if you do have like the Scotiabank Gold American Express card, that's going to be your big earner here, because it earns 3 sceneplus points per dollar on fuel. So you'll do that 3, and then you'll get the additional 1 per liter, or you're going to get the 1.1 or 2, depending if you've linked to Shell Go Plus. So the earn rates can be very big, especially on that Gold American Express card. I know a lot of our community have been asking. Hopefully we'll see an accelerator on the Passport Visa Infinite card. Fingers crossed that we may see something like that. I'll mention it next time I talk to Scotia, if they're considering something like that, or they might be considering it, but they just haven't revealed it to us yet. So again, my famous saying here, time will tell if these things are going to happen. But other Scotiabank cards also have accelerated earn rates, like the no-fee Scotia American Express card. So that earns 2 times points per dollar spent on fuel at Shell or other gas stations. And then you have the Scotiabank Platinum American Express card. That just earns 2 points on everything, on all purchases. So same thing for fuel. As a business, if you're a small business owner and need to run with a business card, the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Business Card earns 1.5 points on all purchases. So again, a little bit of an accelerated earn rate on fuel there as well, but it's 1.5 on all purchases, so not just fuel. Yeah, so that's basically it. That is the 2 biggest pieces of news. Air Miles going to Blue Rewards, and then Shell moving to sceneplus. But there was one more kind of a surprise news event, which I did not receive prior notice of. We all got it, I think, at the same time. And that was the Starbucks rewards revamp. So yeah, Starbucks Canada has announced a revamp to their Starbucks rewards program. This is going to launch on March 10th. They're calling it a whole new program. It's a revamp. It's not a whole new program. There's a lot of changes to it. There's a new reward option, 60-star reward option. They're adding a reserve top elite tier level. But the big news here is that they've lowered the earn rates when you use your reloadable Starbucks card. So really, there's a lot of hype around this. At least that's what we saw on LinkedIn and on various articles. But honestly, I don't think this revamp is really worth the hype, especially since the earn rates are lower. A lot of people in the loyalty industry talk about emotion and connections and all that stuff. But I've been in this for 25 plus years, and I've had, a lot of discussions with the consumers themselves, not just focus groups, but I've heard from a lot of you guys. A lot of it comes down to the rewards. It comes down to the earn and burn. And unfortunately, in this new program, the earn for most people will be less. So here are the key takeaways. So yeah, like I said, there's a new 60-star reward option that is going to get you $2 off any purchase. 60 stars to a new lower level. You can of course redeem 25 stars for like the drink adders, the mods, things like that. But this is kind of a decent lower level, entry level reward. Its value is not the greatest. You're getting 0.33 cents per star. Other redemptions like the 100 points for bakery items, I put in my blog post, $4.65 for ham and Swiss croissant. That gets you 0.465, so almost 50% more value in terms per star for a redemption. But you can go even higher, 300 stars for the 1995 bag of coffee you take home. That's like 0.665 cents. So even more value, double the value of that 60-star reward. So just, if you are somebody who pushes value, that 60-star one, not very good. Stick with like the bakery items or some of the other items on their menu that you can redeem your stars for. They will give you more value. It should be noted that for some of those rewards, though, like the 25 stars, you now have a maximum cap of $1. For the 100 stars, you have a maximum limit of $6. Now, the 100 stars is mostly, a coffee, a tea, or bakery items. I have not seen bakery items push $6, but maybe they will be soon, or maybe like an airport location might be pushing $6 or something. So perhaps that's where you can even push more value out of your 100 stars. The 200 star redemption option for a lot of the drinks, that now has a maximum value of $10. 400 stars for things like cups, reusable cups, tumblers, things like that, now have a maximum value of $20. They put some caps on your stars. I don't think a lot of those were hit before, so not a huge deal there. Now, this revamp also does include the new elite top tier level called Reserve. So when you earn 500 stars in this revamp program, you will be gold. And when you earn 2,500 stars, you will get Reserve. So once you do earn 2,500 stars within a 12-month period, you will get that Reserve status. And what that tier provides is 30 days to redeem your birthday treat versus Gold's 7 or just day of if you're a base green member. You're going to earn 1.7 stars per dollar spent, which is higher than the 1 for green and 1.5 for gold. But I'll talk about that right after this. That's where the devaluation comes in. You get 6 more double star days per year. So there's a few more days you can earn more stars, which you're going to need. You get a free personalized reserve card. So for those of you guys who want a actual physical card, you'll get a personalized one. And you get access to global coffee experiences. So there's some sort of experiences that they're launching, which I believe may include some paid for vacations. We'll have to see. So I guess if you're like a huge Starbucks member and you are collecting lots, you may be rewarded with a trip or something, which would be really cool. That I have to dig into. Let me know in the comments below if you've looked into those global coffee experiences, because I really haven't looked into them yet. So now here's where we get to the nitty gritty. This is something Starbucks did not mention in their communications, that they've lowered the earn rates.
What did you say, Flintstone?
This is the big devaluation to the program. For people who are concerned just about earn and burn, which is most of us, this hits hard. The current program, when you use a reloadable Starbucks card, so that's when you take a card like your American Express Cobalt Card, and I'm saying Cobalt Card because that's 5 times points, the best card in the market, that 5 times points can translate to huge returns for redeeming for a variety of travel options. So when you use your Cobalt Card to load your Starbucks card, that's the reload, right? And then you actually scan your Starbucks card for your payment. So you would earn 2 stars for using that instead of, say, paying directly with the Cobalt card, because that would only earn 1 times points. So most people go this reloadable route, and you've been earning 2 stars per dollar for at least since the last revamp of the program several years ago. Now, so what's happening here is they've changed that. They've gotten rid of that. You're going to get bonus stars when you reload your card, but your earn rates will be 1 star per dollar when you are a green member. Now, once you reach gold, you're going to earn 1.5 stars per dollar. That's still lower than the current 2 that all members. So green is a 50% reduction. Here we have, what is that, a 25% reduction for gold members. And the new reserve level is going to earn 1.7 stars, as I mentioned previously. So again, that's lower than the current 2 stars. But now, when you do reload your card, you can get some bonus stars. So you'll get 10 stars for a $30 reload or 25 stars for a $50 reload. So you'll want to reload at that $50 level because that's giving you an extra half a star per dollar. So that bumps up greens to 1.5 per dollar spent, still half a star lower than currently. That's going to push golds to the same at 2 stars. And then reserve will be earning 2.2. So reserve will earn actually a little bit more. But again, you're spending so much to get to that reserve level already. I don't know how many people will be earning 2.2, but up until that point, you're going to be earning less as a green member. And then once you hit gold, you'll be earning the same. But this is all based on doing those $50 reloads. Now, where this has an effect on your overall rewards picture, because you can also earn Aeroplan points on Starbucks reloads. So right now you can earn 25 Aeroplan points on a $50 reload, or the better option, you earn 100 Aeroplan points on a $75 reload. But a $75 reload, you're still only earning those 25 stars. So you're diluting the value of your stars a little bit, but you're earning more on the Aeroplan side. So you have to do the math. Do you do a $50 reload and get the most value for your stars? Or do you bump it up and go for the $75 reload and get more Aeroplan points? I will probably continue doing $75. I'll take a little bit less value on the stars and then go with the more Aeroplan points because, to me, Aeroplan points have more value. But that's something you'll have to work out to see what's better for you, whether you do a $50 or a $75 reload. And that's only if you have your Aeroplan card linked to Starbucks. If you're not doing the Aeroplan program, just stick with the $50 reload so you get those 25 stars. Now, also in this revamp, they have bettered their expiry rules. So the current Starbucks Rewards program, stars expire after 6 months. Doesn't matter how active you are in the program. 6 months after the month you redeem a star in, they expire. They will now not expire if you are gold or reserve. As long as you retain gold or reserve status, they will not expire. A green member can continually extend those by having activity in the month prior to the month that stars would expire. So ideally, as a green member, you need to be making 1 purchase a month, and that will just continue keeping your stars active forever. But just know that you can lose them after 6 months if you're not that active. So a little bit better on the expiry rules in the Starbucks program. And then the last change to the program, there's now a free Mod Monday. So all members will receive a new benefit of a free complimentary beverage modification 1 Monday per month. I don't know if they're going to set the Monday or you get to pick the Monday, but you'll get that once per month, and that is for all Starbucks Rewards members. And that's it for loyalty. A big week in news for loyalty, especially because these are 3 programs that a lot of Canadians are using on a day-to-day basis. And that takes us into credit cards. But guess what? There was no credit card news this week. So that's even why we ran at credit card second, because there is no news. But don't you worry, next week, going to be a big week. There are some new increased welcome bonus offers coming out, and they are some really good ones. So keep your eye out for those right here on Rewards Canada. Well, mainly on the website first and our social media, and then they'll be covered in our video next Friday. But I will touch upon one thing. We did do one credit card thing on the Rewards Canada website this week, and that was our latest update to the Cobalt Card multipliers. For those of you who've been visiting the site for quite some time, you know we have a Cobalt multipliers list that is crowdsourced. all of you readers, listeners, viewers, give us locations where you've been earning 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, or 5 times points, and we add it to the list so that others know which places they can go at and earn those points. Well, the latest update was done. I mean, we're updating this on a once or twice per month, even more if I can, depends on how busy I am to update that list. And I have to thank everybody, of course, for supplying all those locations that we put on the list. We used to cover them more often in our videos back in the day. It's probably been a year or longer since I've done it, so I figured I would do it here. And if you are actually watching this and not listening to it, you will see that all the locations are being listed on the screen right now. If you're listening to us via the Rewards Canada podcast, just go to the website and you'll find the Cobalt Multiplier page with all these latest additions there. And that takes us into the Rewards Canada Bonus Blast. So the Bonus Blast is where we take a look at some of the more significant bonus miles and points offers we've added to the website over the past week. We're going to kick it off with Air Canada Aeroplan again. So this time they've brought back their 100% bonus for buying points. Well, it's up to a 100% bonus. It's a mystery bonus where some members may only get 80%, others will get 100%. I was targeted for 100%. This offer runs until February 16th, 2026. And as I've discussed on the website and in past videos, buying points can make sense if you have a reward in mind right now that you would like to redeem for. You don't buy points just to hold on to the points. You buy them with a reward in mind, and that reward has to give you more value than what you're paying for with these bonuses. So if you have a 100% bonus, you're paying upwards of 2 cents per point to buy them. So you'll want to be redeeming over 2 cents. Now, it will also depend what province you live in. If you live in Alberta or some of the other provinces that have 5% GST, you're going to be paying less. If you live in some of the provinces that have HST, upwards of 15%, you're going to be paying more. So you need to calculate what your cent per point cost is. And then when you redeem, you want to work out your cent per point redemption value. If that cent per point redemption value is higher than what you're paying for points, beautiful. You're actually getting a discount on that travel, and that is when you want to buy points. Otherwise, don't buy the points. And the next offer is actually also Air Canada Aeroplan based. It is from our partner, Coast Hotels, and they're offering 2 times Aeroplan points for members who stay at their hotels. So if you are a Coast Rewards member and set your account to earn Air Canada Aeroplan points instead of Atmos Rewards points or Coast Rewards points, you will earn 2 times points on all stays at the 40 plus Coast hotels in Western Canada and the Western US. This offer simply needs to be booked by March 2nd and is good for stays until March 31st. And we'll segue from one hotel to another. So we have Best Western Rewards. They've come out with their next major system-wide offer. It goes for various global regions, but primarily for us, of course, it's Canada, US, Caribbean for this offer. And you'll get a $50 Best Western gift card when you stay 3 nights. Now, those 3 nights don't have to be consecutive. It could be 3 one-night stays, 1 2-night stay, plus a 1-night stay, you name it. Once you stay 3 nights, you'll get a $50 gift card. Now, you have to register for the offer first. If you don't register for it, no gift card. So make sure, like all bonuses we talk about, majority of them require registration. As soon as you learn about that bonus offer, register for it, because then you don't have to worry about remembering to register for it in the future if you do book, say, a Best Western stay. So yes, you'll get this $50 gift card. This promotion's okay. I mean, if you're a frequent Best Western user, great. If you're not a frequent Best Western user and you're thinking of switching to them, you know, the problem with this is that $50 gift card has an expiry date because it's a bonus. It's not, you're not paying for it. So being a bonus gift card, they're allowed to put an expiry date on it, and it's August 2nd, 2026. So there's not a huge window to use that $50. I mean, if you're, like I said, if you stay frequently enough where you can use that $50 before, you know, late July, beginning of August, then by all means, this is a decent offer. Otherwise, you may want to look at other hotel chains that are giving you bonus points, because those points, of course, can be used whenever. But speaking of bonus points, Best Western does have their bridge offer. I call it a bridge offer. It's not really a bridge offer because they now run their major promotions back to back. So this is kind of just an extra little bonus where they want people booking right away. And this offer is only available till February 1st. So if you're watching this before February 1st, you can take advantage of this. After, sorry, this one is ended. But they're offering 2,600 bonus points per stay at Best Western hotels, and you can stack it with that gift card offer. Now, this 2,600 bonus points offer is targeted, but Best Western is very loosely targeted. I have always found that you can register for all the offers and you'll earn the bonus points, but I'll just put, you know, the caveat out there that you may not because they're saying it's targeted. I don't think Best Westerns improved their systems to catch that, but you never know. But for those of you who have been targeted, or you can just try and register for this, the link is, will be in the description below. 2,600 points for every stay for up to 10 stays. You can earn up to 26,000 bonus points that you can stack with that gift card offer. Now, the gift card offer and the 2,600 points both work until May 10th, 2026. The only difference is the 2,600 points has to be booked by February 1st. Now remember to always check out the Rewards Canada bonus offers section before you book any travel. We list so many offers, and you should be checking that before you book a flight, a hotel, a car rental, anything like that, because so many Canadians are not earning as many points as possible on their travels, and by not doing so, they are leaving money on the table. So make sure you're checking out that bonus offer section before you do book any travel. And a quick reminder that you will find links to all the topics covered in today's video in the description below. And if you liked today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you don't do so yet, hit that notification bell so you're notified when we do post new videos, share the video with friends, family, co-workers, you name it, anybody you think can benefit from the topics we cover, and leave us a comment below, whether it's a question, a clarification, a correction, or if you just want to say hi. We do our best to respond to all comments. And that's all she wrote for this week. Be sure to visit rewardscanada.ca on a daily basis, and or our socials on a daily basis, because there are things we are covering that do not make it into this video because they are short term, they're flash offers, things like that. And sometimes they don't even make it into our newsletter. But at the very least, you should be subscribing to our newsletter. It comes out every Friday, and that is your roundup of everything to do with loyalty and credit cards in Canada for the past week. Like I said, that comes out every Friday. And then Saturdays is the Rewards Canada Bonus Bulletin, and that is your complete summary of all the bonus miles and points offers we've added to the website over the previous week. Sometimes it's 20 offers, sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's even more. Those are your ticket to earning more miles, more points, so that you can redeem for more rewards. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. Have yourselves a great weekend. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.